The Vancouver Canucks have got to be the most embarrassing team in the NHL. Part of that is shown by tonight's game, which I'll get to in a second, but part of it is also just everything else. I don't even know how to describe this season. A boondoggle, maybe? Right now, though, I hate to see what they're doing to Bruce Boudreau. Everyone knows Bruce Boudreau is going to be fired. It's been clear from the beginning of the season that Jim Rutherford doesn't like Boudreau, and as the team's been losing, it feels like the writing's been on the walls since Game 10, but they've been stringing him along, and it's so obvious now that he's about to be replaced by Rick Tocchet. I wish they'd just let him go. And I mean, Boudreau had a quote the other day about how he's just trying to show up until he's told not to. It's just kind of sad. There's the Bo Horvat situation where the Canucks decide to sign JT Miller this offseason. They're not going to have cap room for Bo Horvat. He wants to leave anyway. Rutherford said that the situation needed major, not minor surgery, which is somewhat ironic, as it seems like the Canucks have totally mishandled Tanner Pearson's hand injury and what was initially meant to be a relatively minor injury with a 4 to 6 weeks recovery now is a season-ending injury resulting in several corrective surgeries. I feel really bad for the guy, and hopefully there's no lasting damage. We don't really know yet. But it's a really tough look for the Canucks when Quinn Hughes is saying, hey, this wasn't handled right, and he feels bad for his buddy. And of course he does. That takes us tonight, and right now it's the end of the second. The Canucks are currently down 4-0 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's been a few funny moments, at least some with levity, like this moment where it sounded like someone farted on the mic. I'm guessing it was the goalie's skate.
Is that you?
But we also heard sell the team chants from Canuck faithful. But let's talk about the game, and the star has been Steven Stamkos. He opened the scoring with his 500th career goal. He's one of only 3 active players to reach that milestone. Who do you think are the other 2? This is an easy one. Crosby and Ovechkin, of course. And there was actually a real period where I was wondering, especially after his terrible injury, whether he would reach this sort of heights in his career. So I'm so glad to see that he's still healthy and producing at an incredible rate. And on this play, Ethan Bear totally takes himself out of the play. The Canucks do just generally with their physicality. Then we see someone completely whiff on the poke check. Stammer's wide open. That can't happen. The 2-0 goal was also a defensive breakdown. Kucherov made the Lightning pay again after 2 players missed the forecheck. The Canucks lose position, and you have Ekman Larson and Myers in front of the net with Kuch wide open. One of those 2 needs to shift off, at least get into the lane. Point would then make it 3-0 off a big rebound on the backhand, and Stammer would get goal 501 off a bad giveaway in the defensive zone to end the period 4-0. That would also see Spencer Martin pulled. I gotta say, I felt bad for him in this one. None of those goals were his fault. The Canucks are just, as they have been, totally imploding. But that's all for now. Canucks fans, how are you feeling? I hope, there's something good to look forward to. I can totally see the Canucks turning it around and getting good enough to reach 2 or 3 spots out of the playoffs and then not getting a high draft pick. But let's see.